Hello there, this is Bick Benedict. We're playing Resident Evil 4, Separate Ways, No Damage, and we are on Chapter 4 of 5. It's entitled Stop Leon's Assassination. So there's a merchant at the beginning, no typewriter to speak of per usual, and what you'll want to do here is fall back once you spawn the two guys with the shields and the guy with the mace. So for the first time in this package, we are in areas that aren't reused assets, so it was very refreshing this entire chapter to me. And it's difficult though because I kept getting sneakily killed over here by little tricks that the game does to you, and it's just one of those situations where you have to keep progressing by little. So what's going to happen over here? Don't go down there quite yet. Aim with the sniper rifle and take out that, and then take out this guy. The order I do it in right there is because if you try to shoot him first, all the enemies at his rear will likely run at you too quickly, like run towards the screen too quickly, and they will not be all in radius of the blast when you shoot that incendiary barrel. So a moment ago you may have seen a golden lynx over there. We will be getting that. When you come in here, there's going to be one straggler left, pointing his way to his own death sentence right there. But a very refreshing chapter. I much liked it, but it's a tad frustrating, I must say that. And then in this location here, it's optional stuff. I'm at that point where I can't fit any more things in my attaché case, so I'm going to be going very hog wild with my munitions, and also opening barrels with shotguns and anything necessary just to clear up some inventory. So there's one more hook shot right over here, and you do have to go quite a way, and there's no going back because there's no typewriter and there is no green letter door anywhere. So when you drop down here, we're going to be going to the next arena, and it's just hard learning a succession of rooms like this to begin with. And I will tell you where I died, and it was one of the more crafty parts of the game. But when you come in here, there's going to be two of those guys, and then if you want to equip a grenade for all the enemies that we're going to spawn through this door, you can go for it, or you can equip the bowgun and deal mass damage. But they're all going to come out of this door here, and what you can do actually is shoot all of them in their kneecaps, get a collection of bodies, and then throw the grenade, or then shoot the bowgun. It's very helpful to do in case you haven't stumbled upon that technique yet. It's very helpful. It doesn't waste too much ammo. Admittedly, you will waste an arrow or a grenade, but oftentimes you're wasting something per force on this difficulty. So the way I'm going to go up ahead, it is optional, but I do want to get I want the golden lynx, and I also want to put the combined jewels in there to get some money. I'm at that point also where the shopkeeper isn't selling me anything new. I bought everything. The only thing he can sell me is first aid spray, which I have absolutely no use for, which is a bit of a lamentable fact. But I do like the fact that you can't tune your weapons up on this. I like the fact that it's a no upgrade run to moderate the difficulty. So coming through this way, you'll have a guy with the taser to the left and some more enemies with shields. I was tempted to speed this up a little bit because what's going to happen is you don't want to go out into that main tunnel area, because there is one enemy with a flaming bow dart, a bow gun rather. So I was killed to that once. I was killed to the chainmail guy coming up, the guy that looks like they. What game was that? I don't remember. It was an arcade game. Oh, Golden Axe. That was what I was remembering those guys from. They're gonna appear up ahead once. Just a lot of cheap deaths and a lot of what am I supposed to do on this chapter running through my mind. And if that's a similar question running through your mind, be calmed by the fact that I have the answer for you in this guide. And I think that's a very good utility on YouTube for somebody who always plays tough games, and they want answers. Because if I were to search for answers on YouTube, I would probably come across a lot of kids' guides with no commentary, and just a bunch of laziness on YouTube. It's so hard to find a channel that isn't lazy on YouTube, and that doesn't exclude the larger channels too, because some of these larger channels, you'll see that they don't post videos for like a week. If I did that, I would come back to hardly anything probably, but they have the security. Anyway, so take him out, and what we're going to go over here and do is get that golden links. The reason I've been buying all the treasure maps too, they're only 10,000, and since I have nothing left to buy at the store, buying them is kind of fun, and you know, to have that collection. Anyway, you'll come up here, and you probably guessed it, this guy did slaughter me one time. He's closer than you think. So what I do is I flash him, and then I shoot him in the head. It's not necessary to use that flash grenade, but I'm a little bit more comfortable doing it. And then when you jump down, you are vulnerable, so I might put the shotgun if I were you for spread damage. And I don't think that you can hit the guy down here from up here. So it's always an uncomfortable prospect, but fortunately he's most of the time just hanging out in the corner waiting to fully aggro. So if you are just sick and tired of this room, you can run it. You can also, I've ran all the way over here once just to see if I could get away with it and not have to deal with enemies. However, when I came back over here, all the enemies were waiting for me and they just killed me. So it's best to do things methodically in this game, because that's how it was designed to be played. Hold on, Felipe. My little dog is coughing, but he's already filled up with water and he's all good. I think he has allergies, but it's okay. So what we're going to do now is there is a barrel down there, and we'll finally get a checkpoint. Finally. And then this room here, I think this one took me the longest of all of them because I couldn't figure out what to do. But when you re-examine things, sometimes keys start turning in place in your mind. So if you examine this, you'll see that you need a card for that. Dude took off. He's got a little ramp on my bed so he can go up and down. He's only 6 pounds. He's so small, but that's the only way he can get in and up and down. I've cut this cutscene out, flash grenade, and then a grenade or a bow dart gun. That was funny. Dude took off. If you can imagine a little chihuahua running down the ramp behind me to go into the closet where he has his own little bed in there. Dude took off. So okay, now what we're going to do is rely on a little bit of luck to take the key. You may have seen me grab the key, wait until the gun fires, and then run over to here. And it's really fair, because once you get on this, you cannot get hit. Any lesser game, like even a Gears of War, sometimes when you're in a turret, you take damage, but as long as you're in here, you don't take damage. And then I've left a cutscene in there. Excuse me, I've trimmed a cutscene out and overlapped it with a transitional crossfade. And at this point, we're going to take some enemies out. But a lot of the enemies in these sequences are perpetually spawning foes, so you want to be wary of them and just get the thing done that you need to get done, namely to get the keys to access the turrets, which will kill the other turrets for us. It's that simple. So when you come on down here, I think I'm going to end up discarding this, and there will be some more bowgun ammunition for us. There's also a lot of periods of vulnerability in this when you're coming off a ladder or jumping down to a platform where a ladder is, or even where a ladder wasn't, and enemies are just like right next to you. So it's a little bit unfair, and there's 0 checkpoints until I tell you where it is in a moment. But surprisingly, like, you can't even crouch anywhere either, which is a little bit disheartening. So we're looking for the red key. What we need to do, you see, what happens over here generally is that a lot of enemies will get in your way right there. By the way, this is the checkpoint area when you step off the ledge onto the next rig. But since I killed those enemies, which I said a moment ago were perpetually spawning, I was perhaps wrong about that and confusing it for another set of enemies coming up, which I'll mention up ahead. But this year, I've gotten a triple headshot before, and I think I just did it right there. If that wasn't a triple headshot, it looked like it, but I have clearly got triple headshots before. And then the next guy is going to be falling. The fourth and final guy will be falling from the clear blue sky right here. You can start knifing him if you want. I usually miss him, but I have slashed him as he's falling down. Let's see. This took me several hours too. I remember I was so tired this morning. I was trying to do this, and I was trying to watch some E3 coverage. I was trying to watch Microsoft's conference, and I just fell asleep playing this game because I couldn't keep my eyes open. And I woke up, and I just saw the game over screen. But that's how much determination I have to play these games. You might call it obsession because sometimes it breeds obsession with the addictive nature that these games, these high quality, like top tier echelon games are made. So when you come up here, there's going to be one guy with a projectile, this guy here. So shoot him in the face, kick him, and then he'll usually slide down the stairs and you can get a couple slashes on him or just shoot him in the fucking ass as many times as possible. And I think the only issue you might experience over here is a little random nature to getting shot by a gun, which is never good in a game. However, most of my deaths did not occur from that. They normally occurred from falling asleep, I think, while playing the game. Just because I was dead tired, not because this game ever makes me bored. Quite the opposite. So you'll have the jump context button, and this guy has a mason chain, but he doesn't seem to swing it too often, so we're going to shoot him in the dick because he's a dickhead. And then we're going to grab this ammunition here. There's going to be up ahead a guy with a shield and a guy with dynamite. So if you want to, you can just reverse in your tracks. You can either reverse in your tracks, hop down the ladder, and wait till they come at you, or just shoot them with the shotgun. And then what's going to happen to that door? We need to go through there, but a turret is going to obstruct our path somehow. You'll get a cutscene. Get the prompt to get up here. Grab this and then sprint, and as you're sprinting, keep pressing the X button. Spam press it, as I call it. Same goes with this. So what that does is it immediately will press the context button for you, even though you don't perhaps see it, and waiting for it get killed by a bullet, which actually doesn't kill you on this difficulty mode, but if you're doing no damage, obviously you have to reset. So these are the enemies that perpetually spawn. You'll see that because I tried to go out of my way to kill them. If not here, then there was an attempt where I spent about a minute and a half trying to clear everything up over here. And I could see duplicates of enemies, like doing the same acrobatics, the same movements, spawning in the same ways. But the bottom line is just to use the turret to kill the gun machines to the left and to the right, and then we will have enemies standing in our wake. So what we're doing actually is we're going exactly the way we were before. This is a similar location, so use your shotgun, and I don't think there are any archers over here, but anybody with a projectile, prioritize him to take him down. And what we're going to do here is just to go right back on this. We've already done this before. We've been here before. So jump onto this, but you don't get a checkpoint. And as you're going up this conveyor, you're going to hear enemies growling. It's a little ambiguous. I don't know if it's the enemies from behind or ahead or a collection of the two. But what I would recommend here is just run to the gate and get your checkpoint. Don't loiter too much. Just kneecap everybody. However, even as I say that, I still would be a little on the safe side here, because as you can see, there's just two guys and they don't even throw anything. And right here, I think I actually collided almost with enemies. Did I? Well, you could have collided. It just depends how long you stay down there. So what I would say is just bust out that old methodical mentality that you've been hopefully retaining throughout the campaign, and which ordinarily saves you, because that means that things aren't catching up to you that you've skipped. Because this game, it doesn't reward laziness or idleness or skipping things. It rewards a methodical nature, a patient mentality, and skilled play. That's the bottom line. And then this guy here has got a stick of dynamite, so just shoot him, get it out of there, go through the door. And even though this isn't a checkpoint, you do get one in a moment. There's a cutscene which I failed to edit out. God damn it all. A treasure, some loot. What is this? This is one of those good treasures, I think. No, but it's still decent. I love that. I love that particular weapon. It has the blasting power of the boom shot, married with the quick agility of the torque. Okay, what I wanted to see over here was if this is a green letter door. It is. Okay, so since this is a very difficult fight, what I would recommend is that if you are at all struggling, at some point you cannot go back and save it, but you can certainly clear up what I would say is about the first third of this encounter. And it's one of those tricky ones, but I can't say that it's extremely unfair or that it doesn't typify what this game usually is of going long durations without a save point and having projectiles whisk by your head sometimes and just saying to yourself, well, damn, that was lucky. And it was lucky. But when you descend that ladder or jump down, whatever she happens to do right there, you'll hear enemies spawning right as you touch down onto the catwalk. So do a 180 and then come back up here, take care of the archer. I'm just going to be calling any guys with bow guns archers, because it's easy to say and it's easy to reference. So doing it that way makes it a little bit easier for you to take care of the archer and the guy with the I don't know what he has exactly, but if you want to, you can kill everybody up until now and then go back and save it. You also can swap out your ammunitions and put his I will be doing it up ahead in a second, so I just wanted to point out that when you jump down here, though, there's no going back. So if you want to clear up all these enemies and then go back to the door and then have a run back every time, my trepidation right here, you might see some in-game trepidation, is because I heard an enemy, and the last time I went down there, he was right behind me. So what I decided to do was to throw a flash grenade and to see if it would aid me, but it didn't, because there was no enemy anywhere where it landed. There was an enemy like right to the, when I exited this, like right over to the right, and it was difficult because I had some guys throwing stuff at me, and then I had to take care of the guy over there where the axle is of the truck. So this isn't too bad as long as you stay to the left. Head to the left of that KNRB0. I just remember that. The things that haunt you. But anyway, the guys on the catwalk are not going to start throwing anything unless A, you get close to them, or B, well, I think there's a C too. B, if you shoot them, or C, if you shoot somewhere where it whisks by them. So I'm being a little bit of a lead finger here just because I just want to take care of business, you know. And I had one odd occurrence happen over here. I've done this about 5 times, one of which was successful. And I had a dynamite thrower over here that almost made this successful run unsuccessful. So you'll see it in a moment. And if ever your attaché case can't hold any more inventory, what you can do is consolidate like ammunition, stack it, and then it will automatically stack up to the highest tier of quantity, and then it will expel anything beyond the threshold of the weapon. So if you can hold 15 and you have 2 extra, it will just dump the 2. Like this right here. I'm going to put the 25 into the 76 to get 100, I believe. Let's see. I'm not good at math. Remember that. So we got 101. Okay, we got 100. Then we'll dump the last one to give us some room and to get the max ammunition. Strangely, in this game, I think I've already mentioned it. Like when you discard something, it doesn't stay on the world map. It just disappears. Unless you attempt to pick something up and you don't pick it up. But anyway, I heard some dynamite over here and I was like, God damn it, where is that coming from? So I decided to do some running back over here and experience some clipping right over here. That's bad clipping right there because that almost put me in about 10 pieces. So, an odd occurrence. Happened to me 1 out of 5 times, but I'm glad it happened to me because I can tell you that it could happen to you. So always be on the lookout for this to happen to you. I'm sorry about the whine of the video card fan. It's just ridiculous. So I've got like a $2,000. It doesn't matter like how much the thing costs, but when you pay money for something, you expect it to work for a long time, and it has. It's been working for about 4 years, and it has no signs of crashing or anything. It's just that does bother me. I realize that these games are pretty demanding. So the next treasure is coming up here in a second. Wait a minute, can you backtrack? No, you can't. So you can either get the treasure or approach. Okay, so that Stone of Judgment, not sure where that goes. Approach that incendiary barrel, aim your reticle over it, and then when you get the most enemies going past it, take care of them all and use that to save ammunition. That might actually go in the golden links. I'm not sure. But you'll see some pretty strong cowardice from me towards the end of this. Right there I equipped the flash grenade because I thought he might turn into a Los Plagas, and he was very close, too close for comfort really. So with the treasure in our possession, we're going to make our way over here. And I've gone this far before only to get hit by this guy, and his bow wasn't aglow, but I remember that there was a threat over here, so you definitely want to take this guy out because he'll give you some hardships later on. And then there's going to be one guy rushing you. Look how fast this guy rushes you. But did you see that? He rushed me very quickly, but then when he got to where I was, he stopped and gave me a chance to react to it. A lot of people have also been acting. I'm sorry if I'm talking too loudly. Sometimes it's hard to know if you're talking too loud or too soft. Somebody was asking if I was covering RE5. A bunch of people actually. I don't know. I played that game a long time ago and I hated it, but that was back when I've never played Resident Evil and I didn't respect the franchise. I didn't even know what the fucking franchise was. So I might take a second look at it, you guys. But only if it's on PC, because I think I'm done with console games for a long time. Not until they get quicker loading screens and 60 frames per second. If you can't pump 60 frames at a second out of these brand new consoles, then you've made them wrong. You made them with thriftiness in mind. So I'll play. It's the same experience. You know, you're using the same controller. You're using a 360 controller, which is the best controller that's ever been made. And, you know, I'm sitting in front of my desk anyway, and I'm using a wireless controller. I don't believe in that argument where if you're sitting at a computer, you don't need a wireless controller. Some people just don't like wires. I grew up in an age when wires were really common, and that didn't make me get used to them. I hate them. I hate wires. But I do realize that perhaps they have a little bit more input registered to them, and if that's the case, then I actually might try that out for Ninja Gaiden 2, because more than anything, I want to play that game. I want to play that game so bad. It's like a feverish drug pitch in my blood and in my veins, man. Taunt for run, no damage. Just kidding. Taunt for run is good enough. No damage. That's going a little bit beyond what a human being can do comfortably. And maybe a human being can't do it. I've seen somebody do it, but he skipped a lot of the fights. So anyway, the ladder over here is going to be a green lettered ladder, so to speak, and it will save your progress. But okay, you guys, we only have one section left, and I just wanted to rant a little bit about the E3 that I just watched, because if you know anything about me, I pretty much hate everything when it comes to games, and it's hard to actually find something that I actually like. So this year's E3, it was it was an hour and a half. I wish I could have my 90 minutes back, because it was so boring that I almost fell asleep about 3 times during the process. And I wasn't even tired going in, but it made me tired because it was so boring. They showed Arkham Knight, but big deal. We already knew that was coming. Hell, that game's coming out in about 5 days. And what else did they show? They showed some gay-looking No Man's Sky shit. They showed Black Ops 3, which I don't care about. They showed, what else did they show? Everything was so unremarkable. They showed, I don't know. They showed like one third-person game that looked decent, but other than that, I mean, at the very end, the guys, they always end on a surprise. And at the very end, I was just holding out all my fucking hopes for God of War 4, and then they showed Uncharted 4. And you might not think there's anything wrong with that, but that's the same fucking thing they did last year. They teased Uncharted 4 with like a couple minutes of footage. They did the same thing again. It's just, where is God of War 4? Where is it? Where is my God of War fucking 4? Because that's the only thing I was watching the conference for. Where is it? Like, where? Do you not care about your own goddamn fucking franchises anymore? Because if that game comes out in 2018, which I suspect it's going to be, that's 8 years of waiting for the third one to the fourth one. I'm not counting the other one because it's not in the canonical inventory or list. It's not in the main. It's not in the canon of games. So it's just, you already have Uncharted 4 coming out. Yeah, we already know that. Why don't you end with something that's something of a surprise? Do you know how many people would want God of War 4? There's legions of people that want that fucking game, and maybe they're not even making it. It takes them so long to make a game, it's not even funny. Because I don't think say we don't hear anything about it until the next E4. That's 2016. And then say the game comes out like holiday 2017, and then say it's delayed. I think it'll be delayed. So that's 2018. I might not even be playing games that long in the future. It's just 2018. Are you fucking serious? God damn it all. The game came out in 2010. There's no love for that. Would they show anything about Ninja Gaiden? Hell no. Hell no. Nothing about that. No Ninja Gaiden. No Dante's Inferno sequel like we're supposed to have, because EA is a bunch of shit. So just fuck everything. I'm so sick of this bull fucking shit. And I'm not doing this for the theater of it. I don't care. I just want my goddamn games. This is Big Benedict, and I'm out, man. I'm out, and I'm out for good, I think.